Talk to me,
Hello there and welcome to Purpose Wednesday. I'm Latasha Morgan, certified Christian life coach, certified professional life coach, board certified master Christian mental health coach, and a whole lot of other goodies, y'all. I've had an amazing day and I pray that you have had an amazing day as well. I also pray that every day to come is even greater and more amazing than the one before it. We are on week 4 of the series, Aligning Your Relationships with Your Purpose. Today, we're going to be talking about accountability and mentorship, finding purpose partners. We all know that God did not and does not intend for us to walk out purpose alone. Okay, this cannot be done by ourselves. We have to work together, all right? So, we need purpose partners and mentors, okay? So we're going to focus on those two things today, accountability partners and mentor. So accountability partners, purpose pushers, whatever you want to call them, these are the people who don't let you settle. They challenge your comfort zone, remind you of your why, remind you of who you are, and hold you up to a mirror when you start to shrink, when you start to decide that I'm not as great as I'm supposed to be. They want you to look at yourself and see who you are. Those are accountability partners, purpose pushers. They want to always remind you that God has called you. Proverbs chapter 27 verse 17 says, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Your accountability partner should sharpen you spiritually and emotionally, and they should have a strategy in mind. Ask yourself today, who in my life pushes me toward purpose, not comfort? Who checks on the goals I said I would pursue? Who sees my blind spots and lovingly calls them out? If there is no one that comes to mind, you want to pray and ask God to intentionally seek God's face and ask God to send someone for that space. Because you need someone who's going to hold you accountable. You need someone to walk along the journey with you. I have accountability partners, and they're my sisters. Some of them. But there was one time that one of my sisters held me accountable. And I just want to use this as an example to show you what your accountability partner should be doing and how valuable they are. So, I had this offer to do a podcast show. Someone asked me, hey, Latasha, would you want to do a podcast show on the radio station? And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do that. I don't, I had different excuses because it was something different, something I never tried. So I talked to my sister, one of my sisters, about it, right? And I gave her all the excuses I had. Now, the person that asked me took away a lot of the excuses and left me with nothing. But I talked to my sister, and she says, okay, so it seems to me that really you don't have any excuses. So since you don't have any excuses, right, God just removed every excuse you had, took care of everything for you. So don't you think that means that you should go ahead and do that podcast show? Right? And there were other things she said to me, but that stuck with me. And you know what? I started a podcast show. And I love doing it. I love doing it because she knew that was in me. And not only did she know, but the person that asked me knew. God knew that it was in me. And I love it. So that's what an accountability partner does. They make sure you see they make sure you know what's in you so that it can come out of you. They push you. As a purpose pusher, they push you out of your comfort zone. And I'm glad I did. We talk about topics that people don't normally talk about. I love doing it. And listen, so let's move on to mentors, okay? A mentor is a purpose guide. A mentor is someone who walked the road ahead of you. They don't have to be perfect, but they should be purpose-driven and spiritually grounded. And you want to make sure they spiritually grounded. Because think about Paul mentored Timothy, Naomi guided Ruth, and Jesus mentored the disciples. Mentorship is a biblical model that multiplies impact. Mentor can offer wisdom from experience, help you avoid unnecessary detours. They can speak into your spiritual development, and most importantly, remind you to trust God when you feel stuck, because they've been there before. It's good to have someone who's walked the road ahead of you so they can tell you what's ahead of you, and you can avoid the pitfalls and the traps that the enemy sets for you. Now, the Bible does say that God will lead you around the traps that the enemy sets, but he uses people sometimes. That's why we can't think that we can walk this road alone as we go on the road to fulfilling our purpose. We have to have someone that's going to walk with us. My mentor was my dad. I've learned everything from him. I got wisdom from him, the things that he experienced, the things that he told me about. I learned a lot about ministry from him. Now, I'm using it now sometimes, not all the time, but I've learned a lot from him. I know he taught me how to minister as well. He told me what it looked like. He taught me what it looks like to have a prayer life and to have a relationship with God. I saw that, and not only did I see it, I heard it. I could wake up early in the morning, and I would hear him praying before he went to work. He taught us to have a relationship with God. He taught me that I needed to be saved. He taught me all of those things, and he meant. Not only did he teach me, but he walked me through it. I remember the last message that he preached. He told me to come and help him with it. That's mentorship. He taught me and said, look, girl, when God is speaking through you, you speak. When he stops, you stop. He said, have you ever noticed those people that when God stops speaking, they start saying, and he said, that is over. He said, don't do that. He taught me that. He mentored me with that. He taught me that I should know the Spirit, the difference between me and the Holy Spirit. I need to know the difference, because sometimes we'll get caught up in our own spirit versus the Holy Spirit. He said to know the difference between that. He taught me a lot. He taught me to speak whatever God said, and don't worry about everybody else. They can't touch you. He taught me that, but not only did he teach it, he said it when he would minister. So, mentorship. I laugh because it's thinking of the things that my dad said years ago, though he's passed on now. It's really relevant to now, and I understand it more now than I did then, because I actually see it now. There are so many voices out there that is them speaking and not God. So you want to make sure you know the difference between you and the Holy Spirit and have that relationship with him, that even you won't even be listening to strange voices, because you know the difference between the voices of a stranger and the voice of God, because you're his sheep. So let's continue. Now, here's your purpose challenge for the week, because we can't learn without applying, right? So I want you to identify an accountability partner. Text or call someone you trust and ask if they will be willing to help you. Stay on track with your purpose journey and seek out a mentor. That's the second thing. Pray and ask God to lead you to someone that will pour into you. Look in your church, look in your network, look even for online spaces where purpose-driven women gather. Do that so that there's someone that can walk with you, someone you trust now, and preferably somebody you know. But let God lead you and guide you. All right. So thank you so much for watching Purpose Wednesday, and I'll talk to you next week. Have a great night. Talk to me.